Alright everybody, Matt Daddy here with yet another Omni review. We're looking at the Micronauts, the original Marvel years, Volume 1. I got this a little while ago and I figured this would be a good time to cover this since Volume 2 came out this week and that. So we'll take a look at that at a later date. Today let's mainly focus on the first one here. If you were a 70s and 80s kid, you saw this book everywhere. But maybe you didn't read it in that big because it wasn't in like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Fantastic Four kind of thing. Maybe it wasn't as recognizable. It really is a great read in that. This here comes with the issues 1 through 29 and issues 1 and 2. Classic run written by Bill Mantlo and illustrated by legendary artists like Michael Golden, which is one of my favorite, Howard Chaykin, Ditko, and Broderick. So pretty cool here. It says, they came here from inner space. The tyrannical Baron Karza has conquered Homeworld and uses its people as raw material for his ghastly body bangs. But Commander Acroyear Rann and his ragtag band of rebels have come together to free their people. The Micronauts adventures span a microscopic universe of wonders, planet Earth, and the Marvel Universe. This collects the original Marvel years 1 through 3, first time ever. Pretty awesome. So like I said, this is kind of a iconic cover there. Inner dust jacket cover is nothing too special. It is just the Homeworld for the Micronauts. The Micronauts come from like the Microverse in that. It is a microscopic world, subatomic. We kind of got introduced to them very briefly, slightly in that Ant-Man movie, but didn't do it justice there. So let's jump into it. This was also a toy line as well at the same time. Kind of like the ROM and the Shogun stuff that all around the same area. I love that. Lots of these came in the Whitman packs. Yeah, so it's about this world, the microverse there, that's kind of being overruled and run by this guy here, Baron Karza, kind of a Darth Vader type figure. His empire, his government is taking over all the rest of the stuff. He uses this dark science to give people immortality type of thing by replacing their body with body banks. He uses all their energy to be ultra powerful, and we see the Micronauts come together in a almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy type of way to form a team to fight against this evil Emperor Doer. We do have some kind of unique and different characters here because these creatures or these people are from the Microverse, so they're almost alien-like, and they're very small too, so they end up coming back on Earth, showing up there and that, befriending a kid and his dad who happens to work for NASA, so that works out there. The characters themselves are pretty neat. I will show you to them as they come here. That is their leader. He's kind of like their Star-Lord figure. He's Commander Rann. He's called the Space Glider. This here is Bug. He's kind of like their comedic relief. He's like a insectoid grasshopper type thing. They do have a couple of robots that are part of the team there, and a night warrior as well. So this is where the Captain Universe and the Enigma Force comes from as well. It's all from this area as well. So you can see you got the Space Glider, you got Acroyear, he's kind of like I said, this space knight warrior type. You got Marionette, she's a princess from one of the worlds of the Microverse. She is ends up being the girlfriend of the leader there. Microtron and Biotron, they are the kind of robot characters. One is kind of like a really type of robot, kind of not very useful in lots of situations. This one here is more of type of a cyborg. And then like I said, you got the Galactic Warrior there, Bug, who's kind of like a comic relief and another type of warrior. So They end up interacting with humans. Lots of great colors in here. Lots of great artwork as well too, because they do pop back and forth between Earth and this kind of microverse dimension. So lots of neat stuff there. Some of these stories kind of have, like I said, like a Star Wars feel to it, or Guardians of the Galaxy. Some of them kind of have a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of feel to it, because they are like little creatures in lands of giants and that. You got this doctor here, Prometheus, who's a scientist on Earth, was studying that, and he ends up having making a pit called the Prometheus pit. That's kind of like a portal between the microverse for them to go into and that. So he ends up going crazy from going through that portal, and he is like half cyborg as well too. So you do have the kind of conquering empires theme going on throughout the whole background. You got the heroes that are kind of lost away from home, warriors in different times in that. And what's neat about this too, being a Marvel property, is that there's lots of team-ups and cameos in here. So Man-Thing shows up, Fantastic Four shows up. And there's Captain Universe showing up in that for the first time. The Enigma Force. Then they go back into the microverse in there. And again, I like in these Omnis, especially what they've been doing with all these, the original Marvel stuff. They did it with this, they did it with the ROM book, is that they keep all the letter mail pages, and I'm always a big fan of that. So jump into this a little bit more here. There's that Baron Karza figure. There's Bug. So yeah, it has a little bit of everything in here. Lots of genres were definitely covered. Like I said, Star Wars, sci-fi. Then you got your fantasy stuff. You definitely got your supernatural type of stuff in here as well too. So, great book. Let's see if we can find some of these other crossovers I was talking about. Acroyears, that's the knights, that's where they're from. That's him there. Again, that's that Baron Karza. Some neat creatures. And here's some of that neat artwork I was talking about, because they're kind of fighting on that microverse cosmic level. You got the Enigma Force there, powering up the Commander Rann, fighting the all-powerful Karza. There's some really neat artwork there, kind of trippy. Some really neat stuff in here. You got some cool relationships between the characters in that. I liked it quite a bit here. Obviously, this is some Ditko art. And what happens later on in this series, I guess around this time actually, is that they have the main story up front with the Micronauts, and they kind of have like a backup running story, which is at first what it was presented, it's Tales from the Microverse type of thing. I thought it was Psycho Man, and again here we get the Fantastic Four. I thought it was going to be like old tales of the microverse and that, but no, it's actually concurrent stuff that's running at the same time, and kind of like background information of all the other characters that go on in this thing. So that's kind of neat too. It's not just the Micronauts themselves, it's that whole universe. So, and again, Biotron getting destroyed by Psycho Man. I'm not sure if this would work or not nowadays. I see a lot of the other properties like this stuff, like RoboForce and what is it called? Biker Mars for Mars, you know, all that kind of stuff starting up again. Transformers, G.I. Joe. So maybe this will as well too, but maybe not. I'm not sure who actually owns the rights and where it turned up in that. So, but again, this would be really fun. And Ant-Man's in this one here. Some pretty cool stuff here. Definitely check it out if you're like a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, or if maybe if you're like almost like an Eternals fan as well too. Kind of gives you that vibe as well. Lots of fun, lots of action. Yeah, and maybe even if you're like a Game of Thrones fan too, it has all that kind of storyline going on with kingdoms and betrayals and families and love and warriors. So, but definitely sci-fi. So. Again, this is one of their kingdoms, Egyptia. Lots of my posters. So this is issue 24. It goes up to issue 29 in here, and then it has the first episode or first 2 issues of the annuals. And then one of my favorite part of the book, and I say it every video, the back of the book here has concept art, has house ads from different comics when they were coming out. I always like that. Poster art. Art for subscriptions. One issue was with Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. All kinds of greatness. There's Baron Karza. Kind of hope they do bring this around again. I'd be interested to check it out because I was a little too young the first time I was around, but it does have a lot of neat stuff that you could pull from it and definitely enjoy. So awesome. Alright, so that is volume 1 of the Micronauts, the original Marvel year stuff, which covers issues 1 through 29 and annuals 1 and 2. Stay around and check out later on videos for volume 2, which we will be doing pretty soon. See you later, guys.